we're on. Action. Hey, happy Tuesday to everybody. Cheers.
You too. It's too early for Halloween, is it?
It's too early for Halloween.
Right. Okay. I went in to see my little granddaughter last night.
Yeah.
And she's been talking about bears. She's only 2. She's been talking bear. Yeah. So I found.
You took off your shirt?
This bear, yeah. I found this bear mask, big floppy, Mm-hmm. So I went, whoo. Scared the crap out of her.
She's 2, Beau. Of course
I
you
know.
did.
I thought, it's talking about bears, and I thought there would be a bear in the house, and
That's hilarious. Who doesn't like a good bear in the house joke?
It was a little boomsy.
So you crying the whole thing?
No, just I shocked her.
Right.
She's been dreaming about it ever since. It's been nightmares for the poor baby.
So one thing, real quick. I don't know if I should tell this story or not. Maybe I'll tell you off the air. Don't worry about it. So let's move ahead. So what you been up to, man? You got a busy day. You have got you asked me to come here early, which I was able to accommodate you with, and I'm happy to be here.
Oh, but just say that, and you go on and on. I mean, you're a small talk master. You've been people. So many people I know lately just can't say something. They got to round about it. They got to warm up to it. They got to interject in the middle of it, and then they have a denouement.
Are you saying that
at
our
the end
audience?
of some stupid thing to tell me?
So you're saying our audience, they're get to the point kind of people?
Yes, they are. These are Action Jackson people.
They're
out
at
here.
their desks right now. They're moving and shaking. By
You
the
know
way,
what?
they can get us just audio right now. We have a podcast through iTunes. This is for real. And what's it called? Oh, you almost did it. Beau Bock Sports. That's it? That's all you got to do?
BeauBockSports.com. I don't understand this.
With the non-speaking deal?
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I'm expecting one of these weeks he's going to come in wearing a bear mask or something, and that's gonna
Something
be the
ridiculous.
thing. Yeah, something stupid.
I can see that.
And
he's disciplined, though.
Yeah, he is.
He's very disciplined.
Yeah,
he will not speak. And he is standing by that ridiculous code.
And he's working his core on my ball as we speak.
Yeah, well. Oh man! So listen, we got to talk about the inevitable, the obvious, and we haven't talked about it yet, right? Because we just kind of sent a couple texts back.
It's terrible.
We felt like it was going to be bad. It couldn't have gotten off to a worse start.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I know so many people.
And you know what? There is no fixing. There's no fixing it. We've got 15
That's the frustrating part.
There's no fixing it because it's embedded.
Wasting talent.
This is who we are. This is what we are. This is how we act. This is how we go about our business. You cannot change that.
Right. It is ingrained in this. And I feel like, and I could be completely wrong, but you can't, the Super Bowl hangover thing in our situation, it's real. And I don't mean I don't mean it in that sense. What I'm saying is there are some guys in that locker room, coaches, players, personnel, a lot of people that, were on that team. And I think there might be some finger pointing going on to whose fault was it. And
I don't think so.
I think so, Beau. There's something going on.
First of all, if it was anybody's fault, it was Dan's fault. It was Dan's fault.
Freeman misses the block.
No, he missed that block. But you know what? Down the stretch, if you're making the right calls and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, running the football, you don't get to that point.
Right.
And then that call was the worst. We should have run and kicked the field goal and come home with the trophy. And so anyway, that's all. It was an unexpected year. It all came together. We had great chemistry. And obviously Dan was along for the ride.
Man, does he not seem completely overwhelmed? I mean, the way this team just comes up unprepared time after time after time.
Yeah. And how about this? We were out conditioned. I mean, how does that happen? How does that happen?
I couldn't understand the rotations. After a while, and I think, listen, there are so many Falcons, and I get there's a lot of gung-ho Falcons fans out there that no matter what, they're going to be optimistic and whatever.
Oh, I don't think so anymore. Do you?
Oh, sure. I know plenty of them on Twitter. Yeah, I get stuff on Twitter. But though they're out there.
Some idiot on Twitter the other day said, "Oh, for once I agree with you." Really? Really? For once you agree with me?
Oh, yeah, I hear that a lot about you. They say, Hats, how you doing, man? I actually agree with your boy Beau the other day.
Actually, only thing we we've ever talked about. Here's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not, don't agree with me. That's because you don't know. And I'm telling you, and that's why I'm here and you're over there. You're going on a break at Moe's and getting an oversized burrito.
Man, did you see that thing I brought in? It's enough to feed all of us, including Junji, and he doesn't open his mouth.
No, he doesn't open his mouth.
Doesn't even open his mouth. But I mean,
He'll do it rectally. It'll be fine. He'll get his nutrition somehow.
He said, Junji, you ready for your burrito? He says, okay, all right. Here we go again. Oh, man.
My God.
No, so listen, I mean, seriously, the Falcons fans that I talk to, like I play basketball with these guys, that's the locker room. You got 15 guys in there. One guy's a Cowboy fan, how that whole thing. And man, the Falcons fans, we cannot even be in a conversation about NFL.
No.
Can't even be in it. What are you going to say?
No.
You're the laughing stock of the league.
Yeah.
Honestly, Dolphins.
That's it.
At least if you're a Dolphins fan, you can point up and be like, well, we're going to have the number 1 overall pick and we're going to be building in the right direction.
Yeah, no.
With us, we keep hanging on to this damn
We're just
thing.
in football purgatory. One of the worst places you could ever imagine in your life.
I think so.
That's worse than being like side by side with Beelzebub. You know what I mean?
You want some good news, though?
What?
I can tell you how you can make enough money to retire. Like this.
Really?
Yeah. You ready?
What's that?
Do you know that the line for the Falcons game on Sunday night is Philadelphia plus or -1? So basically, Philly has to win the game.
So basically, I can take all of this
Yeah.
and just put it
Let's
on
start
the line.
liquidating right now. Junji, what do you give us for that lamp?
Box some of this stuff up, all right? So we
eBay.
Can, please.
eBay.
eBay is the best way to go?
Yeah, start it
And then
off.
just roll it on the Eagles.
Everything into the Eagles.
Wow.
I mean, could you see us showing up?
No.
Especially after all this lip service since they got their asses kicked on
Right.
Sunday. Have you heard the nonsense coming out of the locker room
No.
between
Like what?
Cutter? Well, Cutter.
Cutter I saw on TV embarrassing himself.
Embarrassing
like he
himself.
didn't know what was going on.
Embarrassing himself. He said that because of talking about the 2-point conversion, it was a 2-point conversion of the
First
goal
of
line
all,
play.
why do we go for a 2-point conversion?
Makes
we were
no
down
sense.
28-6.
That comes from Dan. He has no idea.
No, I know. So you got 4 TDs. What are you going to do with an extra point at that point? So we come down, score again, go for 2. All right, now because you jughead, you went for 2 in the first one. Now we have to go for 2. We don't make it. So it comes up 28-6.
Some other jackleg did that on one of the late games. Oh, Tomlin. Tomlin did it when they went against the Patriots when they were getting blown out on Sunday night.
Right.
He went for 2. So at that point, are you just throwing the flag up in the air and say, "Hey, we're working on something here"?
Well, you might be. Yeah, might be working on it. But and I know, and the silence of the lambs over here, he knows. We just, it's all rhetoric.
Man.
It's all nonsense. And the thing is, Arthur doesn't even feel it. I feel like Arthur doesn't even care. And the tragedy is Arthur doesn't know enough to care.
Yeah, I looked
And he
at the
thinks
tickets.
that-
I was curious. I looked at the tickets for the game on Sunday night. You can't get in for less than $100, which is unusual for a Falcons game. So either Eagle fans have bought up a lot of the tickets, or because it's the home opener,
Right,
you're
right,
going to have a
sure.
lot. But after that, pick your game, brother. I mean, other than New Orleans, I mean, you're
no
looking
kidding.
at $35-$40 to get into a game.
See, then oh, really?
Yeah,
See, that's the only thing will get his attention.
that's how you check the vibe.
Yeah.
Like right now, Hawks tickets are up 80% from last year. I have literally, while we called, he actually finally called me back with a ticket sales rep. Been going back and forth for 3 days with this guy because he can't even call me back because he's selling so many damn Hawks tickets.
And it's changing so much, I imagine.
Right. So
like
I'm
the
guessing a
stock
lot of that money, Falcon money, they're saying, well,
going there,
is
sure.
going to the Hawks.
Yeah, people want to be entertained. But I'll tell you what, they're not going to get at the Hawks, what they get at the Falcons. It's a $1.50 hot dog.
No way.
You're not getting that.
No, you're not.
You're not getting that. We may be a crummy football team, but we're going to feed you for $1.50. You're going to get a damn good dog.
We're going to give you a plastic mug about this big, right? Not one as nice as this. It says no.
With my name on it?
No, we
No,
don't do
no,
that.
no.
It says it's Beau Bock and Heiserer Sports.
All right, okay.
Do you see
All
that?
right. Yeah, I do that.
But we're going to give you a cut.
Now 2 weeks in a row you've shown up. So, you get your name on a
This
cup.
day and the ages, you get a statue.
Well, you're not
Bobby
Vince.
got one.
You're not Vince, all right? There's more statues of Vince on that campus than there is of saints in Rome.
So anyway, they give you a cup and you get free soft drink refills.
I love that.
Those big boxes of the
Yeah,
concentrate
yeah,
that cost like
pump.
$20, and then they just pump them out and sell them for $20.
Right. No, you're gonna see an inexpensive game, but you're not getting a cheap hot dog.
But
That's
what
for sure.
happened, Bo? I mean, everything was off. I mean, even Matt, here's what happened on that play with Matt with the tight end. Tell me if you feel like this is what happened as well.
He was throwing it away.
He says he's throwing it away.
No, I
he
said
doesn't
that-
want to throw his tight end under the bus because that guy quit. He quit the route. And so Matt's not going to say
Well, he
that
might have quit the route because they had one in front of him and one in back of him. But as soon as it happened, I said Matt was throwing it away. He was leaning back. There was a guy in his face coming, and he threw it that way.
Nah, he gave his guy a chance, I feel.
No.
And I don't think it was the right play to make because obviously he quit on the play.
No.
He thought he was Tony Gonzalez for a second.
First of all, Matt wouldn't throw a ball up for grabs. He wouldn't throw a
He
ball.
threw the first one to Julio up for grabs. That was a horrible throw.
I'm trying to remember.
The first interception of the game, the very second possession we had after we got our punt block, which, by the way, had no chance. And what was great is
about
how
that?
Spellman doing the game. And Spellman is like, dude, this is football 101. Like,
Yeah,
they're
right.
baiting you into this. What?
Right. And Spellman's not the sharpest guy from the draw.
Mongo? Dude, he goes straight like this.
I
I've
know.
never seen a
I
guy
know.
completely shaped like that. He's like a diamond.
Like a Christmas tree. I know.
You ever play hide and go seek with him in the holidays?
He cheats.
He just
He cheats.
see behind the tree again. Oh, Mongo. So, I mean, how do you fix this? I mean, what happens?
You can't.
Is it Sunday night? I mean, honestly.
I wanted Arthur to come down instead of coming down at
Off
the
the
end
hammers?
of the game with his family. Come down halfway through the first quarter and say, Dan, thank you. It's been great. We'll do the paperwork later, but you move on. Go ahead. He'll take over right here. Whitey Zimmerman, our deceased equipment manager, great guy.
Yeah.
Whitey's going to control this from above.
What do you think if they fire Quinn mid-season? What do you think you would get out of the locker room? Because I don't think there's resentment to Quinn. I think it's just stale.
Still, if they don't
Do you
believe,
think they would be-
No. That gets old. Honey.
Right,
All the brotherhood and nonsense and the way he talks.
Don't you
and-
talk about the brother.
know,
It's real, man. I feel it
let
coming
me
through
tell
the
you something.
TV.
Let me tell you something. The brother who went into the wrong neighborhood the other night, all right,
Yeah.
got their rumps kicked. And,
Yeah.
and so you'll stay out of that part of the city from now on.
So how does that happen to a unit of 11 guys? I mean,
You lose your
honestly,
heart. There's no chemistry. Guys just talking about and literally going through the motions. We were the most listless team I saw all weekend. We were the least inclined, listless, had nothing going on, no energy. Every other team that you see, the energy is palpable. You can see it. It's almost like vibration. It's like the whole screen's moving because everybody's in motion.
Right.
We've got no coordination. We've got no unity. Everybody's, doing whatever the heck they want to.
Right.
It's over. It's stale. They don't believe him. They lost trust in Dan.
But what about these hires? I mean, the Dirk Cutter thing, man. I mean, that was on full freaking.
Yeah.
If you got a guy calling the right plays, all of a sudden, maybe it turns morale around a little bit. But I mean, he's not even giving us a chance.
Hans, when you're and Dan's got no experience as a head coach, and you start grasping at straws. You're bringing in people You're bringing in Cutter. You've got 4 former head coaches on your staff. I mean, who's in charge? And then in the front office, you've got 5 former GMs. Who's in charge? There's got to be one dynamic figure at the top of the
Who's in
organization.
charge in New England?
And everything falls.
Who's in charge of New England?
Belichick.
Right.
It doesn't have
By
to
the way-
come from the owner. It
by
comes
the way-
anywhere in there.
By the way, I got to show you the picture of Tom Brady and Antonio Brown.
Grinning.
It's one of the greatest sports photos to me of all time. It is just the two of them with the biggest eat shit grin you've ever seen in your life. Just like, can you believe it? Like, can you believe it?
Yeah. It was Pittsburgh was trying to screw him. Antonio Brown, and they traded him to the Raiders.
Right.
And the whole thing, this whole episode was
With the
orchestrated.
frostbite, with the helmet.
The helmet especially.
Right. The video, he tapes Gruden, right?
Yeah.
Without Gruden knowing about it. You're a killer. You're the guy.
Yeah.
You know, you're the reason I'm here. What are you doing? Let's play football. He tapes it. California, somehow the guy was explaining it. There's like a loophole where that is valid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Valid for what?
you can use it.
Really?
Like it's not completely illegal. Like it could
Well,
become a federal case, but on the state level, like I didn't
but
really
isn't
fully
it
understand.
illegal in every other state, just about.
California's one of the ones. But what I'm saying is this was calculated.
Mm-hmm.
He was not saying he came up with it. He was paying people
Right.
to come up with this.
Right.
Social media experts, attorneys, Drew Rosenhaus. You know, once Drew Rosenhaus found out when Pittsburgh was going to trade him that more than half the league wanted him, he was like, "We got leverage."
Right.
And so he forced his way out, and now he's a freaking Patriot, man. And did you see them Sunday night?
You know what?
Joke.
You know, what team was Antonio Brown the furthest away from ever joining? It would be us. Us.
Right.
Of course, New England. You know, New England, stirs the drink. Of course. You get a chance to get a player? Give him Randy Moss. Give him to us. Antonio Brown, we'll take him. Because we're in the football business.
Right. I get it. We've got
We're
all
not
the
building houses and getting our banners in the rafters. All right? We're winning football games, and then maybe you get your number on the
Well, what
wall.
about this? I mean, is there any chance in this?
There's a good chance.
I mean, that guy Dalvin Cook was legit, man.
Yeah, but this is like the same thing. When we said like in 2000 and we were talking about 2017. You were talking about 2018 about the injuries and everything. All that stuff has nothing to do with it. It's how do you move? Do you move with energy? Are you hustling? Are you running, chasing, hitting? Are you gang tackling? The answer is no.
Right.
And that was like right after the Super Bowl. That was over.
I can't imagine being that kind of athlete, playing in that level. Like Beasley was freaking pathetic, man. That guy is such a pussyfooter, and I don't mean that like he's just always tiptoeing, real careful.
Yeah,
freaking go play football, man. Hit somebody.
He's not listening to the message at all, or he's just not that good.
Do you think that's why they tried to drop him? Do you think? Because I think Dan Quinn can evaluate talent. I think.
Oh, I don't think he can.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, he had the right idea. He told Thomas Dimitroff, "We want to be tough." That dissipated. We're not tough, and we want to be able to run. And so they're looking at the best athletes. We've definitely got runners. We've got athletes, but damn, we don't deploy them.
we got.
What's the use of having athletes if you don't blitz?
Well,
What's the use? And I'm talking about all across the board. You have an example of everything.
Yeah, and the whole thing is we're so undersized, but we're one of the fastest defenses in the league.
But we don't utilize that.
Right.
We're kind of sitting and squatting.
Which can be good.
At certain times in the day.
Certain times.
I don't want to do it all day.
No, not at all. I hate Philadelphia. Did you see the whole thing with Philly when they played the Redskins with Mike Scott that used to play for the Hawks got in a fight?
No.
You didn't see this clip yet?
No.
So Mike Scott, crazy as hell.
Yeah,
played at Virginia.
Right. Is he on the sideline?
He plays for the Philadelphia 76ers now, right?
Yeah.
So he's from D.C. He's a Redskins fan. They're opening up in Philadelphia, who's notorious for having ridiculous fans. He goes up there head to toe in Redskin gear, right? But he's Mike Scott. He plays for the Sixers.
6'10",
right.
yeah.
In Philly, you feel like that's good enough.
6'10" monster. Yeah.
He is walking by a tailgate, and in the tailgate, they have a coffin with, oh God, what the hell's his name? The safety from Miami. I can't believe I can't think of his name.
Jake Scott.
No.
He's in Hawaii.
No, the kid that got killed. The kid that got murdered with the robbery. I cannot think of his freaking name, but he played for the Redskins.
Now. You're getting older.
Anyway, so with his jersey on the coffin. This is a tailgate for the Eagles. They're mocking this kid getting killed.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so Mike Scott is like, dude, that's out of line. And go, hey, follow you, blah, blah. And these little bitty, they're like half his size, just come swinging erratically. You've got to see the video. It's hilarious.
Really?
He just goes like this. He goes boop, boop. And like dozens of them just tumble over. And it's like, what are you thinking? Mike Scott plays for the Sixers, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's one of us, you would think.
And these drunks go and attack him. So even Philadelphia's turned against these people, obviously. But it was just a weird deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God, I just remembered his name. I'll remember it before the end of the show. You believe that, buddy?
Alphonse D'Amigo?
No.
No?
So did you watch Georgia? A little Murray State action?
No, you know what? I went to Bermuda.
You always got to
see
see something. How is it this time of year? I heard a guy hit by a hurricane.
Swept by us.
It swept right by it?
You know, got up there in the Gulf Stream, didn't know what to do with itself, and finally just. So I was fine.
You were good.
I was at the Castle Harbor Hotel.
So you watched the Georgia
drinking
game.
my.
I got
Of course,
it.
I watched
got
the
it.
Georgia game.
Jeez Louise.
I was insane that I couldn't watch the Tech game because of that ACC network. And what's going on? I mean, how could that happen?
How about this?
Sell it to them. Give it to them.
I
if
got
you have
Hulu
to.
TV that gets ACC network, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
Well, that's a whole other story.
Right. So supposedly I had it. Oh, you watched it? Yeah. Oh, June G was there.
I was wearing
Now-
his Buzz T-shirt.
Right. So now they've got a big matchup this weekend with the Citadel. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was a cadet.
Yeah.
I played for the cadets for
Were you
2 years.
a
So
plebe? Is that what they call
I
it?
was a plebe that first year. You were all plebes.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that would be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, that's why I ended up building a wall in front of the first sergeant's door because he kept giving me demerits.
Right.
So whenever I'm spending all weekend on the quadrangle with my rifle, walking back and forth like a tool.
Right.
So I built a wall in front of his door. He couldn't get out. The whole school comes to look at it, and General Mark Clark brings me into the office. My brother's a Marine Corps captain. He's there, and he says, "Captain, nothing we can do with this cadet. He's got to go."
Yeah.
And so there I was, and thank God that Eddie Teague, our coach, knew Charlie Tate at Miami, who just got the Miami job, and let me walk on.
I knew that story. I just hadn't heard it in a long time. That's right. I remember you went to Citadel. I got kicked out of military school as well.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
The Braves World Series, 95. I was not going to miss that game.
No, how could you?
Oh, what? I've been waiting my whole life,
How
and I
could
knew that was the night.
How could you?
So they said, look, if you go to town to watch the game, when you come back here, your bags will be packed. I said, sounds like a good deal to me. So I went into town, watched the Braves win the World Series. I cried. It was very emotional for me.
Of course.
Came back into town, and my bags were packed, just like they said. They were of their word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then my dad was on his way up to get me. He was not happy
No.
because he was all the way up in Gainesville, so I had to go from Buckhead to Gainesville. And it was a fun ride back.
What school were you were a little wooden soldier? Is this Christmas time? What school was this?
It was Christmas time. Yeah.
What school was this?
This is Riverside Military Academy.
Ah,
in Gainesville,
Riverside.
Georgia, right
Oh,
there on the
really?
lake. I bet you've probably done some stuff there, probably over the years. Some events. The state swim meets are there every year.
Oh, you know what?
That missed-
Even though my mother always said to me, if you eat right, you're gonna grow up to be big and strong like Mark Spitz. But I never did, and I was never a fan because Mark Spitz. I resented the guy. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not.
I don't either. I'm just talking.
So Tech wins, Georgia wins. Georgia's got one more tune-up. They've got Arkansas State this
Right.
weekend.
Right. But that Notre Dame game is going to be as huge as any.
So
game
they were
that's
off
ever
this
been
past
here.
week. Who's Notre Dame
Notre
have this
Dame
week?
was. I don't know who they have this week, but it's not. Might be Sisters of the Poor.
Well, their
you don't have to
schedules-
look it up.
I
'cause
want to
that's
know for myself, Bo. This is a good time for
All
you to
right, but
film. Maybe
this
talk
is
about
what we
something
do.
on your
We
screen.
want to talk
No,
about
don't mention
Lindstrom
her.
breaking his foot.
Sure.
Makes no difference. How about the
think it makes
first
a
play of the
difference.
game, and Matt ends up in a body cast, and just ran right by Matthews, by Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews played horrible.
and then the fourth play is the block punt. This doesn't happen.
No.
This doesn't happen in the National Football League. Your team coming out of the locker room totally, I can't say ill-prepared, because they were unprepared.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to get any better.
It was almost like there was a surprise. Oh, there's a game today?
You see Saban, he's not very happy about. They're playing at 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, I would like to know who Notre Dame's. Oh, they're playing New Mexico. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Bob Davey.
Bob Day, that's right. That's right. You know he had something to do with that.
Well, he's also sick and won't be able to coach in the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well, he's always been sick, but someone finally detected it. And so he can't coach in the game.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's a tragedy for him.
So what time? It's going to be the late game?
I don't know.
I would think
See,
so.
I'm not with CBS any longer. I thought I'd get up Saturday morning and check the papier, get the TV lineup and see that Notre Dame Georgia is probably at 3:30. It's either at 3:30 or 7. And that's when I'd spring into action at that point. Not a week and a half in advance. I'm not running out to find out the time of the Notre Dame Georgia
Weather's
clash.
a big factor.
Weather's a factor.
Yeah.
Weather's a factor.
Because there's costs associated with traveling with, extra
I may
gear.
call Molly McNeil from 46 and just find out what she's thinking.
It wasn't all bad. Bravos keep rolling. Freed is unbelievable.
You know
I
what?
still think that Freed's got the potential to be the best out of everybody.
Oh,
I really,
yeah. I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
'Cause
I
you
mean,
co-
what he's got, his stuff, his junk, is as good as it gets.
And he can run it up 96, 97. That's the other difference, man. He reminds me a lot of, what's his name? Hamels, and then who was the other left-hander that was very similar? Barry Zito. He doesn't have that big curveball, but kind of similar, in the way he pitches.
And great delivery, loosey-goosey, never gets bound up. Yeah, you're right. I like him. Soroka's, a tough kid, mentally tough kid, though, too.
He's been getting hit a lot lately.
I
Last
know.
couple starts, being roughed up. You want to skip him once in the rotation?
But Fultzy last night, Fultzy pitched his best game. And I was thinking, I wanted to write something about how he's growing, and it's not really growing. He's evolving. I mean, that was a stepping stone last night.
I saw him in the dugout with some different interactions
Right.
with teammates
Yeah.
and stuff. He seemed like he was just.
Yeah.
So I'm not Will because
Coming
remember a
off
week
or
ago.
whatever. I mean, he's got something. He's got something bothering him, or something in his mind, or something. It's just his personality's not free and easy.
Right. But remember, it was just the week before where he was complaining about the heat and had to leave the game early and all that.
Yeah.
So let's not get carried away. I mean,
Right.
for him to be,
Well,
what if he's
that would be
consistent
the
rest
basis.
of the
That
year?
would be a basis for a conversation with somebody in the organization who is the leader, whether it's Snit or
Kent.
whether it's
Send
Joe-
down the Godfather.
Joe
Send
Washington,
down Bobby.
Send down Bobby. Bobby come down and have a $1.50 hot dog with the kid. And everything will be happy. Why do you have to do that?
Because that's
Why
what
do
they
you have
want.
to- Well, no, they don't.
Yeah,
No, they
listen,
don't.
They want to know.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
God.
Hey, I set them up and you knock them down.
No,
That's the way it works.
You don't knock down invalids. You idiot. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, my.
God almighty.
But, yeah, I mean, how about, so last night, Donaldson goes deep again. He's got 37 homers, 88 RBIs. You got Acuna, who's sitting at 38 and 96, and then you got Freeman, who's sitting at 38 and 116, I think. What if you end up with three guys with over 40 and 100 each? It's totally doable.
It's only been done one other time.
I don't know that they all had 100 RBIs.
By the Braves. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, isn't that what it
It
was?
was Hank Aaron, Davey Johnson, and who?
Second base. Went to the Dodgers.
Please text us in right now. I'm sure somebody.
Yeah, somebody make a comment, so we'll
We've
read
got
it.
comments
We'll read it.
everywhere.
Oh, you know where?
Yeah,
Well,
of
how
course.
about relaying them?
Well, I'll be happy to.
All right.
All right, well, give me 1 second here.
Let me say something. See the name on the cup? That's me. Oh, you're gonna watch the show in front of everybody watching the
I
show?
said something about a SLUT. I don't know who's watching this program, but it's what you said. Read the comments. That's what's on
And that's
there.
your comment?
That's what it said. That
What
was
did it
our
say?
comment.
Slut?
Yes,
To who? Me? You?
in general.
Sluts falling from the sky?
Could be sluts in the rain. Wouldn't that be something?
Stop with the umbrellas too. I want to tell her.
You don't like the umbrella?
No,
I think
stop with
you'd
that.
like it.
Stop
Wait
with
till the
that.
playoffs and he does it, and then they start doing the
No,
chop with the umbrella.
And some old lady gets an umbrella tip in the top of her head, and then that's going to be a month.
Hey, by the way, it looks like you're going to get the Cardinals, right? Going to get the Cardinals, and then you're going to have the Nationals at the Dodgers,
We are,
or maybe the Cubs. Cubs.
yeah,
and Nats.
we're on cruise control. We're getting more confident every night out.
I think so.
We're getting ballsy right now. It's almost as if we can have. It's almost as if we are so good offensively that sporadic pitching doesn't make us insane.
No.
we just whatever.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. It seems like every night also that they put up the run, they put up a run or two early, like in the first or second
Right,
inning,
yeah.
and put the pressure right on the other team. And even though Dansby's not hitting, he's contributing. He stole a base. He's playing great shortstop as he always does. It's just right around
He's
the corner.
pressing. You know what? He had it going so well, and then when that heel thing happened, he missed almost 5 weeks. You put so much
He's got
pressure
another
on
3 weeks
something-
to 2 weeks to get it
he
figured
will.
out.
He
Yeah.
will. But put so much pressure on himself to come back right away and be as hot as he was. That it's kind of like he was at the beginning of the year and last year. He just wasn't playing with any confidence. His confidence is a little down right now, but man, when he's right, mentally right,
Sure.
he's as good.
Yeah, that's a great point because this is, he's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Is he 25, 26 maybe? 24? But, to come back from your first big injury like this mid-season, he doesn't have any expectations, right? He doesn't really
Right.
have anything to judge it by. Whereas a guy like Markakis, who's coming back and he had the neck thing, he knows. He's like, he's proven to himself he can do it. So he's definitely going to pick things up quicker than a guy like Swanson is, who's always kind of questioning
Right.
himself.
Right.
Right? Because he
Yeah.
was the number one
Yeah.
overall guy.
Yeah, and he's always putting pressure on himself to prove himself.
Sure. You'd have to, right? It'd be human nature. You're taking one overall. Anyway, I like where we're headed, man. They're fun to watch every night.
It really is. They really are fun to watch. And then, in fact, the team has caused me to, put my guns away. Because, listening to Glavin and that idiot Chip every night.
You're not the only
it is
one.
So stupid
You're
and
not-
inane and droll. It's not droll, but just it goes on.
You finally got rid of Joe
on.
Simpson.
And what do we replace? What does that tell you? What we know, right? I mean, you get rid of Joe Simpson and you bring in a simpler guy.
Right. Well, it's going to pick. Things are going to pick up.
Come in and monotone with that
Hey.
raspy voice,
you
and
got
then
it.
Chip saying, "Well, that's Atlanta." It's not Atlanta. It's us. It's us. We're watching. It's us.
Watch every night.
Everyone
We're all
here.
in on this.
It's us.
And it's not like he's just. This is his
It's like
first
what
year.
you're a professional announcer.
He has
Come
been
on.
doing this for the
Either
Braves
be
now
a
for
Brave
20
or
years.
not.
Right? How long has he been doing it for the Atlanta
Yeah.
Braves?
Well,
He's a Cardinal fan. That's what this is all about.
Right.
Those people are freaking different.
No, I know.
Cardinal fans
No, I
are
know.
different. It's like
I know.
something that's just.
No, it's definitely.
That's it.
When we opened those radio stations in St. Louis, I said, no, I didn't want to do it.
Why? Just because they're set in their ways?
So, yeah, and then, it's a baseball town. Pure and simple.
Domino.
And they did. And they did. And I'm saying, I said, do you believe this is, you agree that St. Louis is a baseball town, right? Well, why would you send him to make everybody crazy who knows dick about baseball? Why would you send him? We're going to do trivia. Who hit 3 home runs in? Come on. Come on.
Well, my dad's family's from St. Louis, so I grew up around all this
so you
nonsense.
know that.
So I go up there for whatever. I'm not kidding you. If you go to a wedding reception in June, right? The freaking Cardinal game is on, and the majority of the people are watching the Cardinals game. It's a
And you
regular
better get
season
married
game.
during a pitching change.
Right, against the
Well,
Pirates.
no one's paying attention.
But it's just like, a guy lays down a bunt, right? Or a guy hits a ball to the right side to get a runner over to
Right.
third. He gets a standing ovation.
Right.
Coming back to
of
it
course,
really
yeah.
is just a different deal up there. So he's a Cardinal fan. But the good news is 7 weeks from now, guess what you get? Bob and Neek. Bob and Neek are going to be back. Come on.
You know, at some
That's a
point,
bad shot.
Seriously.
That's just a bad shot. See?
little Nick here comes across, dribbling across mid-court.
That was
Really? How
good.
can you tell that, Bob? How do you know that? I mean, I'm watching it, but I'm not really sure. So I'm glad you confirmed that for me, that he is dribbling over the mid-court line.
See,
Thank
now
you.
that's just too far. That's out of his range. That's a bad shot. That's a bad shot. God. I'm telling you, the entire, and I love Dominique. I love Dominique.
So do I.
Yeah, I
It's
love
a bad
it.
situation for him.
And but man, that's like everything he talks about. God, he could offer so much. You know what I'm saying?
If idiot would talk to him about basketball, ask him a basketball question. How about that?
Right.
And then the whole industry is getting away from play by play, every pitch, every. No, talk about the game. We're watching. We see. Maybe if a guy comes off the pines and says, "Oh, that was Joey Galloway from Edison School."
Joey Galloway's a real guy.
I know it. And he's
No
come
idea.
back. No,
Bobby Nobby.
Joey Galloway was a wide receiver. He's coming back to play basketball.
That's right. Wow. But anyway, they'll be back in 7 weeks, so I'm excited about that. I'm ready for some
Well, I'm
basketball.
excited about the Hawks.
I can't wait, man. I am. He's going to call me back as soon as. So they've got. Here's the deal, and this was interesting to me, and I might have mentioned this last week. If I did, forgive me. But they have not raised their ticket prices are up 80%, and they have not raised their prices once. So they've kept their obviously inventory is less, so you're getting a less desirable seat.
Right.
But so long as you're within those parameters of that price point, they have not upped the price, which is highly unusual of a team that is in demand like that. So they're doing a lot of smart things.
Would you rather have that or a cheap hot dog? I mean, because they're both, major league marketing ploys.
Right.
We've got the National Football League, we've got the NBA. One of them's going for, like maybe a reduced seat ticket.
Sure.
The other's feeding America with $1.50 hot dogs.
You know, one of the other things that they do that's really cool is the luxury suite. Not the boxes, but the individual luxury suites where I forget what the package is called, but you have tickets to this section where it's all you can drink, all you can eat. Just
Well, the bar is back there on floor level.
no, that's another part of the
Oh,
arena.
yeah.
This
Oh.
is so anyway.
You underneath?
This is up. This is up, but
Oh.
looking down. And you come down, and they're all recliners, just leather seats, just looking down over the court. It's amazing. Dan Vasquenza, our friend from the Hawks, hooked me up with some tickets last year. Had a great time. But what's cool is in that area, any player that's a member of that league's alumni in any sport, they give them a gold card. And you just call in with that number, say, hey, Scottie Pippen's in town. He needs 4 for tonight. Well, anyway, that's where they give them those seats. They can have courtside access or whatever, but they have to. They are obligated to go in that area. And so it's cool if you're just a regular fan and you're up there walking around, 5 or 6 NBA players. They're pretty, they don't not stick out. You pick up on them pretty quick. But it's just a cool experience. They're doing things like that continuously to get people in the door.
Well, I think they are. And in all fairness to the Falcons, they are too. I mean, we're kidding about that. We're kidding about that because there's absolutely no emphasis put on the football operation
They
whatsoever.
screwed themselves with the PSLs. They really, and I get they need to pay for the stadium, and I get that we need the stadium to have the Final Four and the Super Bowls and all that crap. For the college football mainly,
Right.
that was the main one
Right.
because that's an annual event, at least twice a year, 3 times SEC championship, which I'm all for
I
that.
wish
But
we'd
it's
bring back our holiday tournament too. That used to be great.
The basketball,
And
the 4 teams?
Yeah.
Georgia plays somebody, and
Georgia
Tech
and,
plays some.
and hopefully Tech and Georgia meet, in the final.
Well, they didn't play each other. It wasn't the winner versus
No,
the
but
winner, was it?
one year it was, that. Oh, that's right. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was just two
Right,
separate
right,
games,
right,
but it was
right.
always four really good
Yeah,
teams.
yeah, you're right. No, that was great. I mean, when you think about that atmosphere in the Omni and what that was, and for the Georgia Tech game, man, it was great.
Yeah,
Man,
hopefully they'll get back to that at some point. You know what was great? One other thing I do want to mention is that tennis match on Sunday night with Nadal.
Yeah.
That guy's a freaking animal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen him that close before,
Yeah.
and then just
Yeah.
grab it.
Well, I'll tell you, Medvedev was
He's the deal.
he really is.
Yeah, he's good.
Can you imagine? I mean, I just look at that in amazement. How accurate they are and how hard they hit the ball.
In the conditioning, how do you even stay hydrated? Seriously, and I'm not being ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
For 5 hours of that crap.
Yeah.
Did you? So I think Nadal rope-a-doped him. I'm not saying he wasn't tired, but I think he mentally won that tennis match because that guy Medvedev, when it was 5-2, he hit a couple bad shots, but you could tell he was really feeding off the crowd and he sensed momentum. And I feel like Nadal was just kind of laying in the weeds, trying to get his energy back, and then seized his moment on serve and won the match.
Well, that happens. Your
Sure.
energy ebbs and flows, and so you can do that. I mean, you have to coast for a minute.
Yeah, it snuck up on me. He's got 19. He's got 19 Grand Slams.
Yeah.
Fed's got 20.
I know.
He's going to pass him.
Yeah, I know.
And if he passes him, and he's got the head-to-head all time, he's the greatest ever.
Yeah.
And I've got no problem giving him that moniker. And on that note, I'm going to...
Well, I would.
Oh, how can you not say he's the greatest? Well, because of his dominance on clay?
Do you see Rod Laver? Did you see Rod Laver?
I never saw him. I've heard that from several people that are huge tennis people. They said it wasn't even close. He was just...
Yeah, but you know what? When you can't even compare because of the equipment. Rod Laver was playing with a wooden Jack Kramer, which everybody had. It was the only racket in the world for about
Was it Wilson?
100 years. Yeah, Wilson Jack Kramer. And now
And the face of him was like
yeah,
this.
no,
You
the face was a little bigger than a football.
Right.
It was like oval.
Right.
Wooden. Wooden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had to have a press because the last thing you want to do is come out like in Forest Hills, open your bag, and pull out a warped racket. I mean, that's not right.
No.
No. So they invented the press. You put it in, you screw it down, so the racket keeps its shape.
Nadal doesn't have to deal with
No,
that.
no.
He does not.
No.
He flies private aviation all over the world. Probably makes about 50, 60 million a year with endorsements and everything.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I noticed with a brief amount of time that I did spend over in Europe is that the tennis guys are marketed just as much as the soccer players. I mean, like Nadal, Federer, they're freaking everywhere. Andy Murray, everywhere. That's big money for those guys.
Yeah. I don't think we have even any idea of how much some of those guys are making.
Hup, hup.